Hello, welcome to the Cup Night channel. My name is Shane, and I've got a message for you today. And that message is you have completed a significant chapter of your life. You get the World card on the pre shuffle, the number 21 or 3 coming through. Yeah, you have done something quite significant. And this chapter involves a lot of solitude, inner reflection, going deep within, maybe even having to actually physically isolate yourself in many ways. And it was a renewal of your heart. The process was worth it. The operation is complete, at least for this cycle. The greater operation is never really complete. Life is a journey that just keeps going, right? But you've managed to bring yourself to a state of balance and integrity. You have revealed to yourself more of yourself. And now you have lessons to share with the world, to connect with others on a very deep spiritual level. You are feeling very composed. And once again, this idea of balance coming through. You are at ease with your inner self, and you are poised to take on any challenge. And there's cause for celebration because of this. Wonderful. So that is the pre-shuffle energy here. We're going into the reading. Congratulations. Give yourself a round of applause, pat on the back. I don't know, celebrate. Do whatever it is that you do to celebrate. You have made it through the dark, scary forest, and you have found the value within. You see that? I like to think it's an emerald jutting out of the forest floor there. It's like you have taken your sword of truth and you have cleared away a little space in this dark, scary forest for yourself. And when you did so, you discovered something immense, something extremely precious and valuable. Your own self worth, right? And look, the self. Yeah, self worth. Oh, and look what's underneath that, the heart. Oh my gosh, I could just keep going. The starborn, because you know that you were born with meaning and purpose. And you have reconnected with that inner source of joy, endless creativity. I could just keep going. Once again, the number 10, the warrior. You are that warrior. You have found the meaning within, and now you know. Now you know that you can use it as a stable foundation, as a base of operations, right? Look at that emerald right there. It's like a tent shape too. So it's like you have this emerald portal that you can go in anytime you need to. That is this like palace of just endless self-worth. If you're ever feeling down, feeling lost, you know where your base camp is now. You know you can go there anytime you need to and replenish yourself with these lessons that you have learned from this past cycle. I usually don't open readings with so much emphasis on the pre-shuffle cards, but yeah, they just felt very apt today. Um, yeah, so to bring forth this message today, I'm going to be connecting with the energy of Mercury because it is Wednesday, Woden's Day, Odin's Day, Odin, associated with Hermes, Mercury, both, yeah, mercurial figures, tricksters, magicians. Yeah, so if we look at Mercury, I've got it pulled up here of in Stellarium. This is the actual position of the planets in the sky right at this very moment. The constellations are not all the same size. They're not all 30 degrees. Some are larger than others. So if we use our eyes or instruments to observe the actual position of the planets, you would see Mercury is in Libra right now. Oh, there's Lenny. Oh no, that's Mezzy. Sorry. Mezzy says hello. That's my dog. But yeah, Mercury's in Libra. So, and Mercury has stationed direct and is no longer retrograde. So there is this idea of kind of like this slight delay in mental activity and communications is now coming to an end, right? Mercury is moving, appearing to move forward again in the sky. And it's moving forward in the sign of justice and equality and fairness and beauty and balance and relationships, right? Because the scales, imagine this is you and this is the other, whoever that may be for you at the time. It could be a group. This could be one group, another group, right? But it's this idea of relations and keeping things even and balanced. Because if the scale starts to get unbalanced, that's when things get, you know, heavy, karmic. I guess you could say in one sense, right? Libra is definitely a sign of karma as well. So yeah, it's like we are making movement in the way we communicate in order to restore balance to the relationships in our lives with people, places, things, all of it, right? You may find yourself in a new place around this time. Maybe you just recently moved. I definitely have. And maybe the weather has changed significantly. We have our first, you can't really see it in the window because it's so bright, but first really heavy snow of the year here in Colorado where I am. And yeah, it's a lot. It's probably like 5 inches out there right now, which is for me the most snow I've ever experienced in my life. This is the first heavy snow I've ever experienced, and it's really beautiful. And actually, before we go too far, I managed to snap this really awesome picture of some elk outside the house where I'm staying. And look, it's a little baby feeding with its mama, and its mama is resting its head. Like, it's just so cute. It's like this cyclical, like the relationship. It's the perfect photo for Libra, right? For Mercury and Libra. This is communication right here. Nurturing love. This is like a healthy maternal child relationship, right? And look at them out in the snow. They must be, you would think they're freezing, but they look perfectly calm. Like they're just so, you know, they're made for that environment, right? And they were made for each other. So, yeah, this idea of like completion again, right? The circle completes itself. Okay, let's get into it. I love to start these readings off with a saying, so I'm going to generate a random saying here, and we'll see what we get. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. Yes. So this energy of play and feeling safe enough to play and be joyful and curious is coming through again. I feel compelled to share this. This is a book I found in this house that I'm now staying in. Um, Inner Skiing, Timothy Galway and Bob Kriegel. But I just love this picture. I'm not even gonna look inside the book, just the cover is enough. Look at this guy just in the middle of the snow, like living his best life, feeling absolutely free and probably flying down a mountain, just experiencing so much joy and bliss, right? This idea of play. Um, yeah. There's also this idea of like reconnecting with old energies and seeing them in a new light, because that book is, I believe it's from the 70s. Uh, let's see. That is one thing I like to check about books is when they were published. Published by Random House in New York. Let's see. Yeah, 1977. I don't know if you'll be able to see that, but there you go. It's at the top there, copyright 1977. So yeah, you might be digging through some old things and finding meaning in them. I love to do that. That's one of my favorite things. Because energy doesn't ever really die, right? It doesn't just disappear, it just transforms. So we still have the energy of this book today with us, but it's expressed in a different form now. The context has changed. And so maybe your context has changed. And now you're ready to play again. You don't want to be a dull boy anymore or a dull girl, you know, or whatever you identify as. That's this idea of play, playing with identity, expression, right? Play is it's this magical space where you make the rules, right? You invent the rules of the game in order for the play to happen. So maybe you're reinventing some rules, doing things a little differently, being a bit of a rebel. Yeah, I love it. I love it. All right, let's get a figure and then I'll draw some cards. Look at that. It's like a little boy or a little girl. It almost looks like a little elf to me, and that's perfect for Christmas time. And that's also, elves are like jolly creatures generally. They're depicted as these jolly creatures like Santa's elves, right? Toys, making toys and singing songs and just having fun. And yeah, it's this idea of like satisfaction, again, fulfillment. All right, so let's get some archetypes and see what else wants to come out for this message. Oh, okay. You got the animal. And that's funny because I showed you the picture of the elk there, the mama elk and the baby elk. Yeah, there's this idea of like reconnecting with your deeper instincts and having fun with them, playing with them, right? Now that you're aware that you have them. Yeah, once again, this idea of completion, the ring, patterns, cycles. We've got the number, let's see, 57 coming through, which reduces to a 12, which reduces to a 3. So the number 3 coming through again, which is 3 is creative energy, right? The Holy Trinity, Father, Son, the Holy Ghost, the Mother, Maiden, Crone, right? So this idea of creative playfulness, changing the rules because you want to. Oh, and then this one, actually, it fell out upside down. Usually I turn these around, but this one I feel compelled to keep it upside down, the Venom. We have, let's see, the number 63 and the number 9, the Hermit energy, right? Hermit is the 9th major arcana. We saw that. But yeah, so it's like flipping these toxic energies that you are aware of now, that you've probably been aware of for a while, and just kind of being okay with them. Like you're aware that they're there, but you're kind of like flipping them on their head, right? It's like you realize the absurdity of getting bogged down in this energy, and now you know how to kind of like turn the tables to make it more fun and less serious. I mean, that's not to say that you might not find yourself in serious situations that call for a level of serious, but there's this level of detachment I'm feeling now about the toxic energies out there in the world, because we all know there's lots of them, right? And they show up in very mysterious ways, but this is the energy that shows us what we are not, or what we choose not to be, right? It's the thing that it's the necessary evil, right? You can't have the good without the bad. So you have to have that contrast in order to show you all the good things in life. But you also have to realize that you don't have to get bogged down in these toxic energies either. You can transmute them, right? You can take them and turn them around. Yeah. And then finally on the bottom, we have apocalypsis. Yes, the unveiling. A truth shall be revealed. Something you've probably been feeling for a while. Its time is coming. And I have been. I guess I've had a lot of unveilings within my own inner world, but I've been feeling this. It's an outer world unveiling that I've been waiting for a while. And it has been coming up in my readings since I've been doing these YouTube videos for a while now too. And it's just been building and building and building. And yeah, there's something big is going to be unveiled. I keep saying that, but I promise you, the beginning of 2026 is going to be wild for all of us, for the world, right? For the whole world. Okay. Let's get some tarot and see what else wants to come out. Eight of Cups. Yeah, moving on. Like I said, you may have found yourself moving away from something, and now you are in a new situation with new feelings. And you probably had to go through a bit of a rough emotional period to get here. It was not easy. Yeah, Nine of Swords. There was a lot of overthinking and anxiety and just difficulty in making that transition. But now you're seeing all the possibilities. There's that playful, childish energy, right? Creative energy too. Page of Cups. It's like your inner child is coming back online. It's like maybe that inner child had to be put to bed for a while. It had to take a pretty long slumber, like hibernate. And it's kind of funny because now that winter's here, at least in North America where I am, it's like, well, now it's the time for the child to wake up and play. Yeah. So let's play. Oh, okay. I'm gonna have to. Something flipped over there somewhere in here. Ah, the Two of Swords. Stuck in the middle. Yes. This once again is that idea of balance. This is also a card associated with Libra. I believe it's the moon in Libra, right? Which is perfect because we have this, let's see, light on the right, the first quarter moon. So it's funny because we're actually about to have a full moon, I believe, tomorrow, somewhere, either tonight or going into tomorrow or tomorrow night. And if you look at where the moon is in the actual sky, it's going to be a full moon in Taurus. So there's an emphasis on values and material things and your body and the senses, things like that. There's going to be maybe some revelations around health for either you or people around you. Yeah, this unveiling, right? Apocalypsis. We're always being given unveilings of some kind, right? Like every day if you're paying attention, then you probably learn something new because life is always teaching us things, showing us things about ourselves. That's what life is about. Um, but yeah, this is not it says stuck in the middle, but I'm not getting a stuck energy from this today. I'm actually getting this as a connection within. You can see the swords are down and they're crossed. So it's this idea of like putting the mental energy down and allowing your intuition, your more feminine side to come forth and to give you new ideas and connect with new energies and experience them in a new, playful, childlike way. Yeah, because even on the bottom, the sun, right? Joy, success, bliss, clarity. This is like massive. I mean, the sun is the source of all life for our solar system, right? The solar system revolves around the sun. That's why it's the solar system. But we know that. Hopefully. Oh, okay. All right. So we have a couple things falling out here. Oh, we have strength on the bottom, passion. Yeah. Getting passionate about your playfulness, your childlike qualities, embracing them and using them as your strength. Because you know that is where your strength comes from, is when you feel the joy and the hopefulness and the newness of life, seeing everything as renewed and not just like stuck and old and stagnant. It's like letting things end so that the new can come in. Let the new replace the old in its time. Don't rush it. Everything has a cycle, and when you try to control those cycles and stop them from playing out, that's when things get toxic, right? Shout out Britney Spears. Okay, let's see what fell out here. We have King of Wands, leadership. Yeah. I'm feeling this as another person. So there may be a King of Wands in your life, someone who is in a position of power maybe a fire sign, Leo, Sag, Aries, potentially. Doesn't have to be. But yeah. What about this person? Nine of Wands, perseverance. So once again, fire energy. And then number 9 coming out again. Um, hmm. There may be somebody around you who is feeling a bit worn down by the weight of responsibility that they have in their life. They are not necessarily feeling this childlike energy, right? They may be feeling the dull man energy, not the playful young boy energy that we got from the quote here. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. Yeah, it's making me think of Jack Nicholson in The Shining, right? He goes insane because of the weight of responsibility. And also, all the ghosts that are haunting the hotel they're staying at. Um, yeah, and now I'm seeing this Two of Swords in the stuck mode, right? In that light when it's paired with this energy, this person. Because now we have this Two of Swords, Nine of Wands kind of surrounding this king, right? This King of Wands. So somebody is feeling very bogged down, like they're low energy, kind of running out of steam, like they're running out of options. They're not seeing the freedom and the play that is available to them, right? This energy. And actually, now that I'm seeing this King of Wands come out, this energy, um, this boy is seeming to me as they're kind of like afraid to play, right? Look, his hands kind of like behind his back, and he's not really jumping or moving or anything. He's just kind of standing there. And if I could, I'm imagining a face on this figure now, and he's kind of just like standing there blankly, like, I don't know what to do, right? This. So there may be somebody in your orbit who is feeling this way around this time. And you just have to be strong, right? Even through the hard times. Yeah. Oh my God. Even under Five of Cups, Five of Pentacles. Yeah. And maybe you are in a situation where you don't really have a lot of abundance right now, a lot of finances, ability to do anything. You might feel a bit lost, right? Abandoned. This energy of abandonment coming through in some way. But here's that mother energy, Queen of Pentacles. You have to take the time to realize all the things that you do have and all the blessings in your life, gratitude, 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 gratitude. Be grateful and caring and nurturing and really pay attention to all the things around you that are nurturing you and giving you, oh my gosh, King of Pentacles underneath the Queen. So yeah, masculine, feminine energies balanced here, right? Libra. So yeah, it's about being in this energy, even when the outside reality is showing you this. You have to know that you are this, right? That's the strength. And to get to this King Queen of Pentacles feeling and maintaining it, you have to let energy move and share and express and play, right? So Six of Pentacles, sharing the value, Pentacles, right? That you have. And once again, we're going to have that full moon in Taurus, which is all about an illumination of the things we value, whether they are physical or just ourselves, right? Our bodies expressing things. Yeah, I mean, the Lovers underneath the Six of Pentacles there, what are you committing your energy to? What have you contracted yourself to? What have you bound yourself to? Is it in love or is it out of fear? Right? Is it this or is it, I mean, you already know what I'm going to show, right? Is it this? Yeah. You got to remember, we create our realities. We are the magicians of our lives. So even when you find yourself in seemingly dire circumstances, and easier said than done, right? Because when you're going through something, it's a lot harder to remember that you are magic. You are magic. And children don't have a problem with that, right? They know because they just feel it. They feel the magic by default until someone or something takes that magic away from them and tells them, no, you're not magic. And then they start believing it. And that is, in my opinion, trauma. When something happens to you and it kills the magic of your child, right? Of you as a child, of that inner child. Because we grow up physically, right? We mature physically, but we always have this creative, spontaneous, joyful energy inside. And we may neglect that because of the things that we've been through, right? Because of toxic energy, things that have happened to us, the venom that has, been injected into us by life. And it's not without a purpose, it's to teach us things. And you might feel like that's not fair. And it's okay to feel that way. That's a perfectly valid feeling. I felt that way for a long time. And when I hear about horrible things happen to other people, I still feel that way, like how can this make sense? Right? How does this give meaning to anything? But it does. It does. On different levels for different people. We all have our own story. They're all vastly unique and beautiful. And if we choose to get back up, to have that strength to reconnect with the passion, with the joy, with the light of our inner childs, to heal that inner child, no matter what they've been through, you know, then we end up here eventually. We end up in this absolute powerhouse of, energy, perfectly balanced, right? Masculine, feminine, perfectly balanced. Not to say that we maintain that balance all the time, because life will throw you off in order to teach you things. All right, let's get some nouns. All right, I'm just going to do 3 because 3 seems to be the number for this reading. So let's go. Oh, duck. Duck school language. I had the figure of a duck come through on one of my readings, I think like last week, 2 weeks ago. I don't know. Time is right now hard to keep track of. Um, duck. Ducks are cool because they are kind of 3 elements in one, because they can fly, they can swim, and they can walk on land. So, earth, air, water. The only thing missing there is fire, and it seems like somebody that you know, or this could be you. I'm feeling it as an external energy, but somebody's got a lot of fire, but they might be missing the water, or they might be missing the air or the earth, or some combination of those. Maybe they need some duck, right? They need some duck energy in their life. um, School and language. These 3 together is giving me this idea of like learning how to speak the language of ducks. And that goes along perfectly with what I was just saying. Maybe this person needs a little bit of that duck language, right? They need the air, water, earth combination to balance out this burnout energy, right? Because I mean, normally this is like a card of perseverance and staying true to a goal or whatever, but like paired with this, like being stuck and burnt out and tired, you know? Yeah. So reading these words for us and not the external energy. Ducks are funny creatures, right? It makes me think of my granddaddy, who he passed on in 2021 from COVID, actually. But he used to do a really good Donald Duck impression, and it would always make me laugh. And it was so goofy. He was literally speaking the language of a duck. Oh my god. Yeah, shout out to my granddaddy. His energy coming through here, and yeah, I love him so much, and I miss him dearly. I actually, it's funny. I have these old Mountain Dew bottles that I just brought down today, actually, because we brought some boxes over from where we were before. Um, but they have these really cool designs on the bottles. I think these are from like 2007 or something like that. But yeah, my granddaddy loved Mountain Dew or Mountain Dew derivatives. For us, it was Mountain Holler. But when he could get Mountain Dew, he would get Mountain Dew. So, but yeah, I have this one and then this one. And my plan is to never open these and to keep them forever because they connect me to him. They remind me of him. And I have two of them. So there's this idea of balance again, right? And lots of green coming through on here, green and blue. So water, earth, yeah. I'm curious. I have this book I found in a thrift store. I don't have the cards. They only have the book, but I thought the book was interesting, and I'm curious to see if there's a duck in here. I It shouldn't take long to find it if there is. Let's see. There's elk, and we had that picture of the elk at the beginning, so I might read that one. And elk is number 3. Look at that. Okay, we're definitely reading that one, but let me see if duck is in here as well. No, no duck. So I am supposed to read the elk message, so I'll do that. Let's see. All right. So here we have elk, and it says, Elk, your antlers reach for the sun. Show me that strength and stamina are one. Yes. And look, we have this nurturing mother energy on the strength card too. Look at how she's like calmly petting this ferocious lion there. It's reminding me of that picture of the mama elk and the baby elk together as one. All right, so number 3, elk, stamina. Elk wandered through the forest looking for a partner. The mating season was in full swing, and the bucks that usually traveled with the other males had disappeared to find mates for the season. As Elk bellowed his mating call through the forest, his bugling alerted Mountain Lion, oh my god, Mountain Lion, that a feast could be in the making. Mountain Lion circled Elk, getting closer to his prey moment by moment. Elk sensed the impending danger when the forest grew suddenly silent. He broke for the high country when he spotted his pursuer, but Mountain Lion was far behind. As Elk made a running leap for the timberline, Mountain Lion gained on him, but Elk continued to run onward, displaying tremendous stamina. Finally, Mountain Lion gave up, having spent his energy in spurts. Oh my gosh, Knight of Wands. Mountain Lion energy, right? Okay, okay, okay. This is crazy. Let's see. I lost my spot. Hold on. Finally, Mountain Lion gave up, having spent his energy in spurts as he tried to jump over boulders to reach Elk. Elk paced himself, making headway as he climbed skyward toward the high country. Elk had no other defense except his ability to go the distance, setting a pace that allowed him to utilize his stamina and energy to the fullest. Yeah, so it's this idea of like knowing your rhythm and sticking to that pace so that you don't burn yourself out. And moving slowly when you're not in danger, so that way when danger does show up, you have enough stamina and energy on reserve that you can just keep going and you just outrun the danger. Elk medicine teaches that pacing yourself will increase your stamina. Yeah. Elk medicine people may not be the first ones to arrive at a goal, but they will always arrive without getting burned out. This is the perfect message to go along with these cards. Oh my god. If you have taken on too much recently, it might be a good idea to look at how you plan to finish what you have started without ending up in the hospital. This idea of health coming through again. Elk have a curious kind of warrior energy because, except at mating time, they honor the company of their own gender. Teamwork. They can call on the medicine of brotherhood or sisterhood. In discovering the strength which is gained from loving the gender that is your own, you will feel the comradeship. Comradeship, that's a weird word. Camaraderie, we'll say. You will feel the camaraderie that arises from similarity of experience. This is a special medicine that allows the friendship of others of your same sex to overcome potential competition or jealousy. You may be experiencing some jealousy at this time from someone around you, and maybe in a subtle way. It's usually subtle. People aren't normally wanting to admit that when they're jealous, right? It's not something people brag about, like, oh, I'm so. I mean, some people do, I guess, in a joking way, but like when somebody's truly jealous, like they don't want people to know, typically, I feel. If you have picked elk medicine, you may be telling yourself to seek the company of your own gender for a while. You may need a support group to realign yourself with the stamina of the warrioress energy that you are a part of. This communication with others of your own sex allows you to air your feelings in safety and to get feedback from others who have had the same experiences. You may need a new sense of community, communication, and unity. Yeah, so there's this idea of connecting with people who have it's using, gender specifically, but we can modernize this a bit, and it's this idea of connecting with people who have a similar life experience as you. So for me, I'm gay and I have a boyfriend. So I'm constantly in the companionship of the same sex, right? Uh, so that's something about that coming through too. Um, put it where it goes for you. But it's this idea of connecting with people who are going through similar things as you. Elk could also be telling you to look at how you are holding up physically to the stresses in your life. Yeah. Nine of Wands. How are you holding up? Perseverance. Oh, this idea of stamina too. Wow, this is working on so many crazy levels. It's kind of blowing my mind. And this idea of health again, right? Something about health, about your health may be highlighted around this full moon. Either around now, maybe you've already heard something, or at the time of the full moon tomorrow, or shortly after. Um, Pace yourself so that you maintain an equilibrium of energy over the distance you plan to cover. Vitamins or high energy foods may be one solution, along with some personal quiet time for replenishment. Yeah, so taking care of yourself. That the Queen of Pentacles side of the King and King of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles combo, right? King of Pentacles is the slow, steady, methodical action taker, right? And the Queen is the like, you know, taking that time to rest and nurture and care for yourself and for your environment, because your environment is an extension of you, right? So the way you keep the environment around you has a big energetic influence on you. So you want to keep your space. I'm, you know, I'm not going to say it needs to be like perfectly clean, but keep it like in a way that feels good to you. If it's like cluttered and chaotic and you can't find anything that you want to find when you need to find it, then you're going to get frustrated easier, right? You're going to feel burnt out trying to accomplish things. But if you organize your space in a way that works for you, right, specific to you, then it's going to feel better and you're going to be able to move faster and or at least at a better pace, right? Pacing yourself. And this idea of going within, right? Taking time to meditate and reflect is this Two of Swords energy again. Okay. There's a contrary definition in this book too, but I'm not going to read it. Um, so, because yeah, I'm feeling the elk in a very positive energy, especially since it highlighted so much of the strength card and all the cards we have out on the table too. I'm just blown away. So, yeah, thank you, Spirit, for that. Okay. Yeah, so this reading feels really positive for the the viewer, the ones who it is intended to connect with. The only thing I've seen here is maybe there's somebody around you who may be having a bit of a rough time. So for the advice for this reading, I'm going to get some advice for your relation because we're dealing with Libra, right? Mercury and Libra. So communication, and your relationship with this person, some advice on how you can approach them. All right, let's see. I'm going to get some verbs. There's going to be a lot. I'm going to reduce them to 3. All right, Spirit, advice for communicating. Yeah, for just communicating with others in our life, those who may be struggling or having a hard time. Thank you. Okay. So we have train, zoom, damn. Damn. that's that's how I'm feeling that one. It's also so number 3. So this one is seems to be highlighted, right? Because the number 3 is coming through strong in this reading, but um a blockage, right? Two of swords, blockage again. And damn, that's what they do. They redirect energy, right? Beavers build them in order to change the flow of water. So, huh, tower. There goes the dam, right? Release. Yeah, there's going to be some kind of huge release of energy. Oh my god, and then Two of Swords on the split with the tower. Wow. Yeah, literally there's the dam and it's being released. And then train zoom. There's like this huge burst of energy, right? Trains are very powerful. I mean, they are methodical, right? They take a while to kind of get started up, and then once they get going, they just zoom right on, right? So train, zoom. It's like once the dam breaks, there's a bit of a slow start, but then before you know it, you're just like flying. You're given more options. 7 of Cups. More choices. So there may be a blockage in communication between you and whoever this person is for you, and maybe some grief, sadness, to do with communication. Swords are all about communication, right? Air. Um, and there may feel like a bit of a dam between you and this person, but there's a train coming to just burst through that dam and then zoom. You guys are off to the races, or at least off to your journey. All right. Let's see. Advice to go along with train, zoom, dam, please. All right. Just going to draw 3. 1, 2, and this one, 3. This one's sticking out. We'll take 4. The chariot, determination. Yeah, there's the train, right? There's the zoom. Determination. Yeah, this idea of stamina coming through again too with determination. And balance, right? Black wolf, white wolf. All right. So 6 of Swords transition. Yeah, like I said at the beginning, you probably moved recently or you are in the process of moving. There's some kind of transition happening and it's changing the way that you are communicating because once again, swords, air energy communication. And then we have the first quarter moon there in the background. The light is on the right. So this is a building up towards We are still building up towards this full moon, right? We're not there yet. So yeah, the Magician again. Yep. Creating a new way of, you're transitioning the way that you communicate. Hopefully in a better way, right? You are changing the rules of how you communicate. And the Magician is that Mercury energy, Mercury Virgo energy. Gemini. Let's see, Knight of Cups, and it brings you satisfaction. Yeah, there is emotional fulfillment, self-fulfillment, right? So this change, the Hanged Man, pause. So this is a third quarter moon there in the background. So this is about a winding down. So what I'm seeing here for this advice is to modify the way that you are expressing yourself to this person. Pause, right? And think about how you can speak from a place of satisfaction, from emotional fulfillment, from a stable place, which is not easy to do all the time, right? But if we just take a step back and try to put ourselves in the other person's shoes and realize what's going on, then yeah, it's funny. I used to do software development. Um, I haven't done it in a while now since I left my job to move to Colorado from Florida. But 11:11 on my phone. It's funny, on my computer it says 11:08. But yeah. Um I just got an email because I'm signed up to these email lists to do with software engineering, and it said new React courses available. So a new reaction way, a new way of reacting, a new way of responding, and taking a moment to think, pause, assess, and then speak, right? And speak from this place of knowing that you are creating the energy of the moment, right? When you speak, when you relate. So you want to try to create this energy of satisfaction, of assuredness in for you and the other person involved. Like, you don't want to belittle them, or there's a change in the way that you guys are going to be communicating with each other. Consciously, I think so, because the Magician's here, and this is like conscious manifestation, right? Conscious creation. But it could be subconsciously as well, because the Hanged Man is more of a underneath the surface kind of energy. You can see his head is like, it's upside down, right? He's upside down. He's kind of dipping. I like to think of this card as like he's dipping his head into the underworld, into the realm of the subconscious or the collective conscious, the deeper layers of reality, in order to remember that we are all together. That ultimately this other person and you are reflections of each other. Right? Intertwined. Ring. Okay. Yeah. And there's going to be success in this because the Chariot was on the bottom. So this is all about victory, success, forward movement, train, zoom, goodbye, dam. The tower is taking care of that dam. There's going to be a breakthrough, a big breakthrough in communication, and it's going to bring balance between you two. Okay. That is it for this message. This one was really fun. So yeah, if you enjoyed, please like the video, helps the channel. If you have anything to share, comments below. Yeah, as always, take care of yourself. Extra emphasis on taking care of yourself for this reading, and keep your heart open and keep that communication at a 9 of Cups level, right? Very high energy here. So yeah, Keep your heart open. Bye.